Hello, I wanted to discuss two reasons why I support Andrew Yang. Before I heard about Andrew Yang's campaign, my partner would come to me and tell me that there was a lot of evidence showing that we were going to be automating away vast numbers of jobs, and that this obviously will have a huge impact on society at large. He would also say climate change, there's evidence that climate change is far worse than had previously been anticipated. We were further down the line than we thought, and it was accelerating rapidly. I like listening to Jordan Peterson a lot, and I thought one of the things he said about the best way to tackle climate change is to first get everyone out of poverty as quickly as possible, because it's a problem that needs our full attention, and you can't have people's full attention if they're in poverty. And number two, we need smart people. It's a very difficult problem, and you need really smart people to tackle it. So we need to produce people who are functioning at their best, which brings me to my second point. In my psychology class, the textbook had research done over many decades about the negative effects of poverty on the individual, but also on society at large. There was a study done with rats, and it put them in impoverished environments and in enriched environments. And in the enriched environments, the brain capacity grew. Synaptic connections grew. Better brain functionality was evident. They repeated the study in monkeys, birds, fruit flies. No matter how primitive the life form, the brain functionality improved. We want better brain functionality in our citizens so we can tackle these very serious problems that are right ahead of us. Andrew Yang's campaign came along, and I was so surprised because I had been listening to my partner tell me this information and felt a sense of foreboding, because these are very serious problems in front of us, and I could not understand for the life of me why me, as an average citizen, I'm going to school and furthering my education, but I'm certainly not one of the smartest people, I'm not a genius. Why people who are on the higher end of the intellectual spectrum, we're not doing something about this, we're not taking these problems seriously. Why I was looking at our government and the people who are running it, and they are doing nothing to directly address these problems. So it was very refreshing to hear Andrew Yang, someone of obvious great intellect, come forward, which takes great courage, and try to do something about these imminent problems, which, if they are not addressed, could have catastrophic consequences. These are my reasons for supporting Andrew Yang. Prior to this, I donated $3 to Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2016. I could not bring myself to vote for Hillary Clinton. It was maintaining the status quo. Many of the other candidates seem quite wonderful, but none are addressing the problems that are directly ahead of us. I have maxed out on my donations to Andrew Yang, and now we are working towards maxing out my husband's donations to him. I wholeheartedly believe that he is the best candidate for the future of this country and for the future of all citizens. His campaign has policies that will have historic consequences, that will dramatically change our lives for the better. I could not understand in my psychology class why all of these studies were being done, but the government was never taking that information and utilizing it to structure society. It makes no sense. Sorry, messing with my hair is distracting. Andrew Yang is taking all of these studies, taking the evidence that's done in science and in social studies and in psychology, and he's applying them to how we would structure the government. This is huge. This makes sense. Why even do the studies if they're not going to be utilized? I ask that when choosing a candidate, you research the evidence. I have read Andrew Yang's book, The War on Normal People. I have Kai-Fu Lee's AI Superpowers. I've watched many videos. The evidence all points to the same thing, and it's very easy to see that Andrew Yang is taking the evidence and using it to attempt to make society better for everyone. I view his campaign as similar to Move 78 in Lee Sedol's game against the AI in Go, the game Go. Move 78, there were 5 games against the AI, and Lee Sedol won game 4. And it was Move 78 that was the winning move. And that's how I view Andrew Yang's campaign, is beautiful and poetic. That's what many people called that move, because it was the master move. Most people want a better future for their children, and Andrew Yang has said he is doing this for a better future for his children. But most people go about securing the future for their children through financial means. This is the master move. This is Move 78 Andrew Yang has created with his campaign, because he understands that in order to create a better, secure future for his children, he must create that for all the children. You can have a lot of money and create a bunker and live in a war zone and be relatively safe, but at some point you must leave that bunker and be in the war zone. In order to have a secure future, you want the periphery around you, you want your neighbors to be secure as well. Again, back to the study of the brain. We want our neighbors to have better brain functionality. An enriched environment will achieve that. The studies have been done. How do we get that? You get that through giving people the financial means to create that for themselves. It is the master move. It is something that will affect all of our lives for the better. This is my reasoning. It's based on, I'm trying not to say it's based on what I've learned in school, in psychology class, in my social sciences, in my government class. My government class highlighted the dysfunction of our government. It did not diminish it. It highlighted the fact that lobbyist is a problem, that it is a problem that the media is owned by only a few individuals. This is not representative of a democracy. It highlighted the fact that our government is being run by mostly rich, white, older men. This is not representative of our people. Please, I beg you to take a look at the evidence and the research and make your decision not just based on who you like, because a lot of the candidates are likable, but base it on the evidence and who is taking that evidence and incorporating it into their campaign to make a better future, a more secure future for ourselves and for the periphery around us, the people around us. That's important. I thank you for your time, and I hope I see you in a celebration.